We are 2 weeks from the rest of the year being the worst annoying timeline we could live in. And as we get closer and closer to that, I'm starting to realize the world's getting a little bit more weird. On one hand, you have two former WWE wrestlers giving their opinion about the election, which has sparked the conversation of do you care or not care about celebrities and their opinions about things? Because if you favor the celebrity saying something you agree with, then oh my God, this is so based. But if a celebrity says something you disagree with, then who cares about celebrities, which exposes a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of people who say, I don't care about what a celebrity has to say. And for whatever reason, based on who you support, you have one guy who is former muscular man now turned slim being viewed as a lesbian, and another guy being the symbol for American obesity. And those two individuals now created stupid conversation amongst people because we all don't know if we want to care about celebrities' opinions or not. And on the other hand, you still have this fixation that started 2 months ago about Kamala Harris's punch-in card for McDonald's, to the point where Trump is cosplaying as a McDonald's fry boy by shutting down an entire McDonald's to do a PR stunt. And I could stop right there and say like the video and subscribe, but that ain't the dumbest thing. The dumbest thing going on right now still, even though this happened last week, is the racial aspect of it, because former President Barack Obama gave this tasty nugget.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout as we saw when I was running. That seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly. When you have a choice that is this clear, on the one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles, pain, and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more, overcome, and achieves the second highest office in the land, putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing, cares about things like education. And you're thinking about sitting out? And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that, because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. The women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. When we get in trouble, the system's not working for us. They're the ones who are out there marching and protesting, and you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. This shouldn't even be a question.
And you would think that maybe to the low intellectual, this could work on somebody, because I believe women like to say this word, gaslighting people works as long as you do it on other people. No one likes when it's done to them.
Y'all, I'm finna say this with my chest. If you don't vote in this election, or you vote the wrong way and you're black, you deserve everything that you don't get. You deserve being overlooked for that job opportunity. You deserve getting pulled over driving while black. You deserve racial inequality. You deserve having to have a job with a non-livable wage. You deserve the fact that you're going to have student loan debt for the next 25 years. You deserve not being able to buy a house and build generational wealth. Some of y'all are just embarrassing. And I'm not talking about embarrassing to yourselves. You're embarrassing to your ancestors. You're embarrassing to all of the barriers that were broken before you even thought about existing on this planet Earth. Y'all are embarrassing to your children and to your grandchildren that you've not even met yet. It is disgusting. Having a literacy test has got to be put back on the table, because y'all done messed it up for everybody.
And surprise, surprise, it didn't really go over well with a lot of people.
Man, they got Obama on the campaign trail for Miss Harris. I'm trying to figure out one thing. Who do the fuck Obama supposed to be? The fucking black messiah? Talking about his message to all the black men. Why we not voting for Miss Harris? Motherfucker, did you look at the situation we in right now? You know, in the last 4 years? And then, Obama, you ain't done a motherfucking thing? Shit. It was better when Trump was in office than me all the way around. So who the fuck do Obama supposed to be? The goddamn messiah? Man, hell nah, man. You ain't spread the Red Sea. You know what I mean? You ain't done no shit like that to us, man. You ain't did shit for us really on the cool. You know, so all that bringing Obama and praising Obama, I don't give a damn about Obama. When he starts doing something for these black communities, then I say, well, good kudos to you too, brother. But other than that, man, stop throwing that shit in our face about, oh, the black men's not voting for Miss Harris. I'm not voting for motherfucking Miss Harris. That's just flat out. And I don't give a damn who she bring in. Obama is not the messiah, man, for black people.
I told myself I wasn't going to do this because, frankly, I really don't give a fuck. But Barack Obama, you do not represent all black men, and all black men will not be listening to you. A lot of black men have a strong hatred or dislike towards the LGBTQ community because of their movement, and we understand that what a weak individual that have not healed from their traumas can do to society, and we're underneath that right now. Like, this is gonna spark a civil war, and I'm pretty sure he's aware of that. But as a black man, I support Trump. I'm voting for Trump because masculinity have to be restored. Not all masculinity is toxic masculinity. Just not all femininity is dark femininity. Let's understand that masculine energy is needed.
Respectfully, President Obama, what you said is not acceptable. Is it possible that the only reason some black folks may not be inclined to vote, or they may be a bit disenchanted, or dare I say may even be willing to go as far as voting for Trump, is it possible that it's policy as opposed to misogyny, inflation, the cost of living, the price of gas, the price of groceries, that don't matter? Immigration and our borders, and this belief that there's an elevated level of sensitivity towards them, as opposed to black folks struggling, if not starving, in this country. Yes, that plays a role too. When the mayor of New York was talking about $53 million in prepaid credit cards for immigrants who came across our borders illegally and having prepaid credit cards for them. And I said, wait a minute, black folks been starving for years. We ain't get that.
And the reason it didn't go well with a lot of people is because I'm going to make the assumption, and I could be wrong, but I'll speak for myself. If I were to want to make a decision between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, I would want to know what these two are going to bring to the table as it pertains to the next 4 years of America and its finances and its systems put in place. And that's just me. And maybe that's the boring answer, but hey, I'm a pretty boring guy. I wake up, brush my ass, and go on about my day. I don't really do much else throughout the day. I work, I come home, I play Fortnite and NCAA, and I go the fuck to sleep. And I eat somewhere in the middle of that. And that's what I do. What I don't need is to be calmly gaslit and a bunch of people telling me that this is the right thing to do in this scenario because you're not really behind it. It's because you don't want to see a woman in power. I could give a fuck. I would actually love to see it. It would be cool. What I don't need is a bunch of people trying to belittle me into voting to somebody, because you know what that does instead of making me go to the ballot box and say, I'm picking you, it makes me say fuck you and the person you want me to vote for. And that has clearly been demonstrated and showed through the various people I've shown you giving their opinions about what Obama said. But oh, don't you worry, white people, you're still in this game too, because even though there's a lot of support towards Kamala from the African-Americans, it's still gonna be your fault if Donald Trump wins, because how dare you not vote for Kamala?
Former President Obama was back out last night. This is the first time since he was in Pittsburgh, and invoked the potential of sexism in his appeal to black men to support the vice president. Angela, should there be a course correction because there was so much backlash to that framework? Was it a mistake for the former president to say what he did or to say it publicly? What was your assessment of what we heard from former President Obama?
You know, I think that it's wonderful that President Obama is out hitting the trail for democracy, frankly. And what I think is a mistake is to let white folks escape the accountability that they must face for not showing up to save democracy themselves. Like, they want to get mad at presidential candidates, right, when they don't wear a flag lapel pin or they don't see you pledging allegiance to the flag. That's what they want to get upset about. Now, the face of patriotism to them looks like trying to tear down the Capitol in a terrorist attack on January 6, 2021. So the responsibility of saving democracy should be on the largest demographic in this country. That is white men and white women. I don't want to see a women's march with pussy hats come January if something doesn't go right. What I want to see is for them to march themselves to the polls, including today. We are in Detroit, Michigan for an early vote rally. In Michigan, early voting starts next Saturday, which is my birthday, Victor.
Happy birthday.
But today in Detroit, it starts today. There's a big event at Pistons Land. We will be adjacent to that event, talking to folks, Detroit voters, about what they want to hear, about the agendas that matter to them, about the economy, about healthcare, about ensuring that democracy is preserved, even if it's not perfect. We're doing our part. It's time for white folks to turn their ire and their attention to each other to ensure they also do their part.
And the thing that irked me is you could have been spending all these months. Yes, she came in late in the game because Biden doesn't love us because we're terrible Americans and he broke up with us. You could come in and plan it out. It could take a while, but you could plan it out and give out all these policies, which are available for anybody to see. But no, we don't want to lead people to do research. No, we're too lazy. We're not going to do any of that. You should be doing your own research, and you should be coming back and on your knees kissing my feet with all the information I know you should be consuming because it's the information I like, and that should be enough. No, doing your own research and then coming to your own conclusion and you not supporting the thing I support. How dare you? It'll be your fault and you need to be held accountable for it, because that's the level of fucking stupidity that has come out from a bunch of people. Obama should have never said any of that shit. That was a TikTok argument that should have stayed on TikTok. Obama should have been doing what he's been doing, I believe, for like 3 weeks now, going from city to city to city, trying to pitch Kamala to everybody. But instead, this will be the thing that gets the most traction. This is going to be the thing that gets the most attention, because he sat there and belittled a group of people thinking that in his mind, maybe this is going to work. And who knows? I'm telling y'all this right now. I've said it since January. Don't bother why I got this thing in my hand. I've said this since January. Somebody gonna win, somebody gonna lose. One side gonna cheer, the other side gonna look and see that side cheering and say, hey, you cheated and that's not fair. It's something that's gone on for a long time when it comes to these elections, but people want to just say, oh, well, this might be the case this time. It happens every time. And I, even though I'm whimsical, I'm charismatic, and I'm charming, I would go the boring route and I would spend my time doing research on both of these candidates, seeing what they about, seeing how they change certain verbiage about words, see what they're doing to actually benefit the American people and not just themselves. And I would come to a conclusion that way, trying to gaslight a bunch of people, bullying others into submission, demanding social media commentators speak on things, which has gone over quite well in the recent hours of me recording this video. It leads to a more destructive outcome instead of a constructive outcome. And yes, I know I have the boring opinion on this. Yes, I would love all this pointless mudslinging because it helps. It helps create the conversation in a peaceful and respectful manner. No, it don't. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit perpetuated by a bunch of people who clearly need likes via TikTok and all these other things. But I completely did not like seeing a former president engage in that type of shit because I fear it may not work and you may turn some people off. And maybe that will be something that affects the outcome in a negative way, not in which you would want it to go. Because I know a few of you, how dare you, are voting for Kamala. And few of you are voting for Trump. And I'm going to keep telling y'all this. I don't have a side. Fuck them both. But if you're going to make a decision, do your research. Don't let a bunch of fanfare get you all excited. Do your research about both of these people. Come to your own conclusions and go make that vote. Whether if it's early vote or you wait till the last minute because you're a lazy American who smells like mustard, you can make that decision. Jesus, I know it ain't that hard, but people like to make it hard. But I promise you this, once you do it, you'll feel more satisfied than not knowing that you paying taxes out your fucking ass next year. And that is the issue I want addressed. I want the IRS abolished, but hey, maybe that just makes me an evil human being. But let me know in the comments. How do you feel? Do you feel persecuted? Do you feel belittled? Do you feel like you may not matter in all of this? And I'm here to let you know. You probably don't, but fuck, you should probably vote anyway. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.